Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy JD6 here. I'm with my man. Shout out to KC Sports Authority. Make sure y'all go check that podcast out, man.
You heard the man. And welcome into another episode of the KC Sports Authority podcast. Quick reminder, of course, you can check us out over on Spotify where you can listen to us on the go. You can also find the podcast right here on YouTube where you can watch and subscribe. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us if you're watching, on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And your support really, truly makes a difference. Of course, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KCSA Pod for all of your Chiefs, Royals, Kansas Athletics, sports betting, NBA content. And today we're going to talk a little bit of soccer. Soccer's not one we've really dove into much on the podcast. This is actually the first episode we're talking soccer. And I am joined by the guys over at Southside FC here in Kansas City, a local amateur soccer team. And they're going to come on today, talk to us a little bit about who they are, what they're doing, and talk a little bit about the soccer scene here in Kansas City. So fellas, welcome to the podcast. How's everybody doing?
Good.
We're doing well. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me just kick it over to you, Goddard, to start with. What is Southside FC? Who are you guys? Tell me a little bit about who you are, the team, how it all came together, and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, for sure. So again, for those that are hearing this for the first time or seeing me for the first time, yes, my name is Goddard Ogutu. I am the owner of Southside FC. Gabe here is my head coach. And so we are a new men's team, grassroots level here in the KC area, just trying to create a new be a part of a new product in the select league, kind of bringing competitive soccer to the adult scene like that we just don't have here in the city. And so we're here to grow that part of the game and be involved in the communities as we grow. So that's the quick snapshot if I gave 30-second pitch of it. So, yep.
So where did this idea of putting together Southside come from? How long have you guys been at it? What's kind of the experience been like so far for you?
Yeah. So the person that had the brain for the league, which kind of then facilitated to me creating the Southside. So Brandon Fisher created the Select League. He had done like a Club World Cup. A World Cup, a Kansas City World Cup in 2022. It was successful and kind of brought it to like a league idea, kind of like a European style soccer, but at the very grassroots level. I ended up seeing some things on social media and I was like, oh, that sounds really, really interesting. I would like to get involved. And so in August of 2023 was when I launched the club. And then I ended up meeting Gabe pretty early on. I would say, I think September-ish, if I'm
around there. Yeah.
Around there. Yeah. And so we've kind of been at it since then, just trying to build this club from the ground up, from recruiting and finding funding and marketing, the whole gambit.
Yeah. And if I'm correct, this is the inaugural season for you guys, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The inaugural season started, I believe, April. Early April, and it ends August 3rd. So we're in the thick of it right now.
Yeah. So Gabe, tell me a little bit about head coach. Are you just coaching? Are you also playing? What's that look like for you?
Just head coaching, no playing, nothing like that. Really just wanted to get more. Well, in the early years, I've really never really wanted to coach, just play. But then accidentally somehow got sucked in coaching club soccer over in Leavenworth with LUSC. Originally started coaching with the U14 club over here, playing in the Heartland League. So we played about whatever subcategories of sporting teams that they have. So many of them, Sporting Blue Valley, just a plethora of teams that they have. So we played that type of competition. Then I got promoted to go with the high school team. And then around that time is when I met with Goddard. We actually just met just playing soccer, and then Goddard was trying to find players, and he was looking for players. And I was like, do you need a coach? Actually, I'm not trying to play, trying to coach. I mean, it was all an accident. The only reason I met Goddard was an accident. I was only there to ask my now best, I'm going to get married in October. So I went to go ask the guys if, they want to be part of my wedding. And then that's when I met Goddard at the same time. So it's just win-win situation.
Nice. Nice. So you guys have been at it. How many games, matches have been played so far in this inaugural season for you?
We have played 6. So I know it's supposed to be at 7, but I think there was like a postponement weekend. So there's a matter of rescheduling that match, but we've played 6. And it's starting to be competitive early on. But it's also just deep enough into the season that you're kind of starting to see a little bit of separation. So,
Sure.
So we're kind of at that point. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the team. Who are these guys that are playing for you? What's the kind of age range within this amateur league? What are you guys looking for throughout the league as far as roster creation? What's that like?
Yeah. I'll start with this, and then Gabe can get into the particulars. But as far as the league itself, the league can take up to 16 and older, but most players, and specifically on our team, they're 18 and older. I think the oldest we've got is 33, I believe. So it's a massive range. So kind of hovering, I think the middle of the range is like 24, 25, and they're of various backgrounds, from playing currently college, former college, maybe some high school experience, but generally they've all played in some kind of capacity. So, Gabe, I'll let you take over the particulars of the team and who we have and what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, we have a mixture of players, same thing as the league. The league has a mixture of guys who have played college ball or playing college ball currently, or who've never played college ball and never got that experience. And that's what the Selects League is about. It's giving, some of the people who have never played college ball, besides, they've only played high school ball, that experience of something of traveling or being part of a family, to that extent. I mean, our guys, just like Goddard was saying, our oldest guy is 33. We have 2 33-year-olds. If I'm not wrong, right, Goddard?
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, one, he played college level, 33, plays great. Another one never played at the college level, but like I said, this is a league where it gives guys a second opportunity just to relive something or experience something they never had to begin with. So that's on that part. I mean, we have players from all over. We got, we have a guy who's from Scotland who has played in university level and also played in USL2, which is, I believe, 4th division in the US, if I'm not wrong, Goddard.
Yeah, either 3rd or 4th. But
so pretty high up there if you think about it when it comes to the level that you've seen. If you see in just in general, if you're playing a 4th division in the US, people might say, other things, but it is hard to play at any level in the United States in general. But I mean, we got from Scotland, got from Brazil, guys from Baja California, King City, California. I mean, you name it, we have players all over from just in general. So,
and for those players, a lot of them brought them to Kansas City for one reason or another. It's not necessarily a situation of that, like, we brought them from said places wherever they're from. So like some of them are in college, so college brought them here, but we found opportunities of networking and hosting tryouts that allowed them to come play with us apart from their, outside of their school schedule and whatnot. So it's fun because it brings kind of a massive group of people that obviously would normally not be in the same situations together because of the vast varying levels of playing, experiences and journeys, if you will. So, but yeah,
that's actually what's going to go next with building this roster. Talk to me a little bit about what that process was like. Where were you looking for guys? Where were you guys searching? What were tryouts like? How many guys showed up? What's the team roster size right now? Just what was that process like putting together the group you guys have right now?
So roster size is 23. The league caps it at 23. And so it kind of gives you an opportunity to really allow just people that are interested in playing to kind of come in, but also then you kind of got to at a certain point, you're like, well, I want to be competitive. So I want to draw in talent that will help us be competitive in the league. I mean, usually we play sport for fun, but there's a level of competition that kind of exists with it that you naturally just want. And so even from me owning this, I would want that. I would want that as well for my team to be competitive. And so there's a little bit of, people reaching out and saying, yeah, we've got a few slots open, and people say, yeah, let me join you. And well, that's good. And then, that's early doors. Early doors when you're trying to build a team. It's like, I need bodies like yesterday, and then it kind of, as it gets a little closer, we had like a couple tryouts, I think, before really the new year had started. Because let's see, I launched the club in August of 23. I think we hosted one in November, and then we hosted a second in December. First one in November was kind of small, if I remember correctly. We had like 7-8 people.
About 7-8.
And then the second one in December, we had like 30. It felt like it was just big for no reason. It exploded. One person told another, and then told another, and then we ended up having like half a university team. I think half like St. Mary's team came out or something.
Wow.
For some reason. So the only downside, or in the early doors, is that there was a small registration fee that kind of came with joining, because it's not a small venture, but we did our best to keep it as low as possible. So that $250 for what would be like 18 game season, but then that 18, we're ordering kits. You kind of are traveling, if you will, with the home and away, within Kansas City. So we're not having to travel out of town, but it's all within the metro and slightly out, depending on where teams consider their home ground. And then of course, we're paying refs and we're renting fields. So that cost helped cover part of that. And then the rest of it, I'm finding creative ways through sponsorships and the funding of it myself and whatnot to bring that together. But as far as tryouts, I mean, it got to a point where we were a bit picky. So we have the full gambit from at least competent, can play high school level to these guys are currently playing college, whether NAIA or lower NCAA, whatever it is, but they're playing, they're active. So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit, for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to pop the logo up here a little bit bigger. Just tell me a little bit about the name Southside, where the lion came from, the branding behind some of this. How did that kind of all come together?
So as I was trying to figure this out and put things together, and I was like, I don't know. I've always lived in Grandview. So I've always, well, not always, at least from the age of 5. I was born on the north side of Kansas City. But then eventually at the age of 5, I've generally, lived in Grandview and been here virtually all my life. And so it's that idea of being on the south side of Kansas City, that south side of town, that kind of, South KC, most people generally know what you're talking about. They may not know the specifics if you name, but they're like, oh, I know the south side. I kind of understand the south side, kind of similar to the Northland, in regards of how people refer to it. And so I just thinking through names, and I said, you know what? I think Southside would be a good name. And so it's that's just kind of how it came. Nothing like super deep, nothing crazy. It's just kind of that feeling of being the south side of Kansas City and kind of embracing that, embracing that part. And then as far as the logo and the colors, it was just the colors really weren't necessarily too crazy. I was kind of playing with things that could work well together and kind of match each other. I thought the white, orange, and black were a good combo. And then the lion really is kind of an homage, at least for me. My parents are immigrants from Kenya, so just kind of like, the strength of a lion, that the passion and the energy of lions, the king of the jungle type of mentality. So that's a way to continue to connect culture and heritage for me, just even through that little semblance for me. So yeah,
that's cool. So tell me a little bit about the league itself, and what can you guys tell us about just the men's semi-professional amateur scene in Kansas City? What kind of opportunities are there for guys that maybe didn't make it to the next level? Just talk us about that league, how many teams are in there, and that whole picture.
Yeah. So right now, as far as the league, we've got 9 teams that are competing in this league. And so, kind of with that home and away mentality with 9 teams, what's that, 16 games that you're able, because you play every team twice. 16 games that you get to play. And so, depending on what people are wanting, it's an opportunity to stay competitive and just continue to play the sports, but in a slightly more structured way than most pickup leagues or leagues that you kind of join, kind of similar to other sports where you pay your registration fee, you get some guys together, or you're a free agent that joins a team. This is slightly different where it's like there's a little bit of a relationship, there's a little bit more of a team building. It's not just friends or friends of friends. Like, you might come into this not knowing virtually anybody, and hopefully we're kind of creating a unit of people that are going to be competitive moving forward. But also there are opportunities for players to kind of use this as a platform to get extra touches if they're getting ready if they want to kind of use this as an opportunity to, get trials for themselves elsewhere, or stay in shape and get ready for the college season, so on and so forth. So we have so many players that are approaching it differently. And as we bring more players in and as this league grows, we're hoping, the competitiveness grows with it. Yeah. And so there's still a lot of work to be done. Like, let's be honest, year one is a cluster, it's a mess, and you try to figure it out, you try to sort it out. But, I think there's a great product here. There's nothing quite like this at the grassroots level that you can feel like has structure and something you can be a part of, and people in the surrounding communities can come and watch. Because there are all kinds of leagues going on, but I don't think there are kinds of leagues that are marketing at the level that we are at, way down the pyramid, if you will. Quite like this, that are trying to embed themselves to be a part of the community. And that's the goal, because eventually the idea will be, if we can grow the club not just in a popularity or a number sense of growth in the community, but grow it even from like the academy and like a women's team, like just even from the product that we produce in terms of helping players, reach whatever goals they may reach, so.
Yeah. So it's been several weeks now into the season for you guys' first go around at this. What are some things you guys have learned along the way so far, or some takeaways you've had that as you continue to build this down the road, things that you've really grasped onto now that'll help you guys continue to build a successful club?
Gabe, I'll let you take this first. I got to think about it. Or kind of construct my answer in my head.
No, you're fine. So,
or on the flip side, what's been the most challenging aspect so far, with it being still pretty early in the process?
So just like Goddard was saying before, a lot of these guys are either, coming in, they have 9-to-5 jobs, or they're playing current college soccer right now. So it's a mixture, because you have, even though college soccer is over, but you still have ID camps, you still have other things going on that, other coaches from colleges want their players back, or for example, or something coming up from a 9-to-5 job or family wise. So you always have that coming in. So I have to adjust, the lineup here and there. And that's, it's always, who's coming, who's not coming, and then going from there. But realistically, that is really I think that's only really struggle that's out there. But that's, at the end of the day, we're all, we all work 9-to-5s, or we're either full-time in school. So, that's it's amateur soccer. We're not at that level where we can support our players, or, at the same time support each other at the same time. This is, for a lot of the guys, either get your extra touches before, fall season starts, and or also a lot of the guys who are maybe in their mid-20s, late 20s, maybe hopefully get something out there, maybe get their touches in and then go have a tryout with semi-pro team. We currently have a player who's been denied at a lot of college tryouts when he just wanted to college tryout, and he just got approved to spend some time to get a tryout at a certain college, and that's the opportunity that we provide here. It's all about networking connections. So we finally he had that platform to go and try out when, like I said, we got players right now currently playing semi-pro soccer as we speak right now. We had a couple of our main players just go a game in Wisconsin, won 5-1. So it's like I said, it's just the only struggle is just getting those players, who's coming, who's not coming. And that's pretty much it. But other than that, the guys get along. There's no drama. There's nothing like that. Nothing what you see in the NFL, NBA, nothing like that. Not with these guys, at least. But they all get along. They understand their assignments. And it's just a family all together at the end of the day.
Yep. I would even say, for me, I think sometimes it's not until you're like in something, like you can understand how big something is. Like you can have all the head knowledge, but it's until you have the experience that you really truly feel like you understand what's happening. And that clearly happened with this. It's like, oh, I know that this will be a lot, and I can kind of name those some things, and then you jump into it and you're like, well, head knowledge is different than experience in this. And so I've learned a lot, but I think one of the things that's been challenging, but then also helpful when you get right is building that help around you. And when, and so far I've been very fortunate with some of the help that I have around me. Cause if I didn't have the right help, I don't know how far I would make it in this. I would, obviously be dredging through, but there's a little extra good feeling when you know that you've got a team that's there to help you and kind of pick up in certain areas. And so it's been a challenge, but also it's been a really good blessing, if you will, just kind of recognizing I've got a good team, but getting to that point isn't always as easy. Some people have a harder story than others getting to that point. So that I would say that would be one of the challenges I've had. The other side of it is I think, which comes with people is managing people and kind of understanding people's emotions and how they are. And like Gabe said, we're fortunate, with the team that we've got right now, that we don't have, any massive issues, but that's not always going to be the case. The longer we go, the more personalities we meet. I mean, that's just sports in general. When people are competitive, you get the gambit of personalities, from those that are a bit more docile in their personalities and more that have a lot more vibrato and they want to puff their chest out. So, and you've got to learn to manage that, and that's going to come with time and experience. So,
yeah. One thing I was going to ask you about might be a challenge, considering this is not everyone's full-time gig. How difficult is it? Do you guys have time to practice throughout the week, get together outside of just games itself? What is the process as far as building that team chemistry? Because I'm not a soccer player. I'm not a big soccer fan. So I have a hard time like connecting the dots and everything. To me, I see a lot of great athletes out there running around for a long time with insane endurance. Don't know how anybody does it, but how do you guys put together that chemistry to play off each other's skill set? The guys that are your best defenders, the guys that are your best attackers, the guys that you can just rely on to just go out there and keep the game moving. What's that process like as a team building?
So before the season started, we had a mandatory, at least at the very minimum, was it was a Saturday in the morning, 9:30 to, what was it?
Like 11:30, something
11:30, something like that. Get enough hours in. It was early enough where it's a Saturday, everybody sleeps in, the guys can go start getting to work, drills, formations, everything we need to get done. And then we can get our guys back before lunch, or if not right at lunch, and respect their family time, respect their job, whatever, if they work on the weekends. So that's what we're doing every weekend. Right now with the season, already taking up the weekend, it's been a little harder, but at the same time, a lot of our guys have been staying disciplined, actually joining little small sessions with each other. So that's been a great help with them, especially conditioning wise and keeping their touches up. That's been the best for them. And then you got your college guys. Like I said, they're still doing ID camps or still doing spring training at the same time. I know some of our guys in the next couple of months, they got spring season coming up already, just like baseball. They got to prep before their season starts. And like I said, 2 of our big guys are playing semi-pro soccer. They're playing semi-pro soccer right now, traveling the Midwest in general. Like I said, they went to Wisconsin, and that's been a tremendous help for us. With us, like I said, everybody either has a 9-to-5 or going to college full time, and that's been a tremendous help.
Sure. Now, Gabe, as head coach yourself, and I'm not asking you to give away any of your strategy necessarily, but what can you tell us about kind of your team's play style, the identity? What's kind of your philosophy that you have put into the way you guys play this year?
If I wanted to put it in one word, it's speed. These guys are tremendously fast. But when I say speed, it's not just we just go. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's speed, but with precise. When it comes to that, with every game, we're almost guaranteed a goal. Especially with our starting 11 that we have, with our top goal scorer, Tony Rangel. He has 17 goals in the season with 4 games, correct, Goddard?
If
I'm not right.
Yes, 4 appearances, and he's just gone off. He's gone
17 goals, 4 games. Then the next one down. It's a battle after whoever's in second place. It's our guy named Ramis. He is a midfielder, but he is
quite the facilitator.
Whenever he touches the ball, it's just magic. Whenever he can deliver any kind of pass, no matter how difficult it is, no matter if it's a outside 3 touch, it's just whenever he has the ball, something's going to happen. He never fails you to begin with.
He's kind of like probably like a point guard if we were to look at the basketball. Like he just kind of facilitates, but also he can take it himself and go and yeah. So.
Yeah, and then you have Tony, where Tony's a winger, and the minute you give him the ball, you blink, he's out there. He's 10 yards already in front of you and gone, and you don't have a chance to catch up with him. And it's just him and the goalkeeper every minute, every time. So, like I said, that's what I mean by speed. Our wingers are one of the fastest ones in the league. So we got Tony Trey, who plays for William Jewell College. Tony, who just finished his college career with University of St. Mary's, and now playing with KC Sol. Rami's playing with KC Sol, also finished his college career. We got guys who are just tremendous. We got our midfielders like Nate. Nate's 33, but he played at the college level before, and it has not disappeared one bit. It's still there. His touch is still perfect. Nice crosses, perfect passes. And then we have our center defensive mid, who is our number 6, who is David Marshall. He is tremendous. He's the one from Scotland, so he's the one who's played also USL 2, and he's been great for us. Big body, fast, precise. He knows what he's talking about. He's also coaches as well, so whenever he talks, he knows what he's talking about as well. So it kind of helps because I'm not the only one out there. It's also a few guys out there who have coached, throughout their college career, or who, throughout their 9-to-5 job. So it's tremendous. And then our defense it's just great. We have our right back, Noah, who has played NCAA Division II college ball. We have Hudson, who plays for the University of St. Mary's. Now we have David Hyatt. He is not played at the college level. He's a firefighter, but he will put his body on the line no matter what. If a guy is a lot quicker than him, somehow David catches up and just puts his body on the line, even to the point where he might get a concussion, which has happened.
True teammate right there. That's a true teammate.
Yeah.
We have Zach, who's another center back, but he can also switch as a left back, right back. He can play anywhere. Quick, precise as well. Who else am I missing? I got left back Aiden, who has played at the semi-pro level, has played overseas. He came from what is that famous high school over in Las Vegas, or sorry, in Nevada, known for football. I'm not sure if you know, Keegan, about.
I don't. Not my area of expertise.
I'm not sure if you were big on. I know you do football, but I'm not sure if you're really onto that high school football. But he comes from one of the biggest high schools in the nation, and he has 4-year state champ with that soccer team over there. And then we have our goalkeeper Ryan, who has been tremendous. He might be 5'10" or 5'11", which is, ideal height for goalkeepers is a lot taller than that. But he is bounce. He has a tremendous bounce. He plays for KU currently right now, so he has been a savior to help us out with that. And then our bench they just have been tremendous. Whenever I'll go ahead and name them so they don't feel left out. But we have I might leave one out by accident, and I'll get called out for it. But
we got Mitchell. We've got Franco and Alex and Ben. They're the ones that kind of pop out. Yeah, Isaac and Brian. So we've got quite a crew of players, and really we're a team that likes to play high up the field.
And Ty. Sorry.
Yeah, and Ty. And so we're definitely, like you said, we're a team that likes to play high up the field and really quick play, quick counterattacks, like that precision. We're gonna make sure that we make those mistakes hurt quickly. Yeah. And that's the big thing about our play is we're going to be quick. And I know you had mentioned you're not, a massive soccer guy, let alone know the idea, but in some regards, the tactics can be kind of similar to basketball, where, to some people, they might just see it as, throwing the ball down the court to get it in the hoop, but there are plays happening in such a way that, like, once you kind of understand it, you can't unsee it. You got triangle formations. You got off ball. You have to have off ball movement to manipulate the defense, and those similar patterns. Even though they might get called differently, and the court is shorter, and so on and so forth, there's a lot of similarities when you kind of start looking at it from probably that lens. That maybe it might be like, oh, okay, I kind of understand the game a little bit more. Just that little bit more, because it's this is like a similar play in basketball minus the hand playing, so yeah.
Well, clearly your play style, the talent, the speed, the experience is paying off. I know right now you guys are sitting second in the league at 4-2, but man, 51 goals forced. Nobody else in the league is even close to catching you guys in that. Next closest is 22. You guys have the highest point differential, plus 36. That's crazy. So that clearly shows the talent, the athleticism, and the skill set is for sure there. You're almost halfway into the season now. What's kind of the next 8 to 10 games look like as far as you guys position yourselves? What else do you think you need to do to keep yourselves at the top of the league? And is there any prize for the winner? Is there, post league play tournament? What's the rest of the season look like?
Yeah, so I'll start with how the season ending and what we're playing for right now. So right now, what has is confirmed. We've got there's a trophy to be won at the end of this, and as a league, I'm sure as the years grow, as the years come, we'll determine and kind of add a little extra oomph to that. But right now is like, it's like a 4-foot trophy, good size, expensive trophy. So it's not like that rink-a-dink, you get from the trophy store down the street. It's supposed to be like a good size trophy that's like $300-400. So something substantial. So that was the first piece, and I apologize. What was your second question? I know you said
like is there after the season
yes.
itself, is it postseason play? Is it just
So no. So it's very similar to like European style, where it's 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, nothing for a loss, and at the end of the table, whoever has the most points wins. That's
okay.
it. So,
but you guys are one off the leader right now. In
yeah, one point off. I know they also have played one game more, so we
Sure.
have a game in hand. So we do have an opportunity to retain top spot once we play that game in hand. So, but yeah, 1 point difference. I think top spot's got 13 and we have 12 at the time of this recording. So they've played 7, we've played 6. So no postseason play. Whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. But if it's tied in points, it goes down to goal difference. If it's tied at goal difference, it's goals scored, like the goals you scored in that season.
Which, unless you guys just fall off, I don't think you'll have an issue in either one of those categories, as long as you keep winning.
As long as we kind of keep doing what we're doing. So, but I mean, as far as the next 8 games that are coming up as we kind of approach the middle of the season into that third quarter, if you will, to the final stretch, it's really a lot of the same that we're doing. There are a few defensively, things defensively that we'll probably need to work on and correct to kind of feel a little bit more comfortable. But as far as the scoring side of the game, there's nothing that we necessarily need to change. It's just the defensive work that we've got to do to build and get stronger and make sure that we can keep this momentum that we have going. So we're really excited, really excited. So
as we start kind of wrapping up here, Goddard, question for you, being the owner. Take me through a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. What do you think Southside looks like? What do you think the Select League looks like? And what do you feel you are building up to as far as your bigger vision of what's coming?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, a year from now, and probably the year to 3 years is kind of a little bit jammed in, and maybe I can give like a quick 5-year picture. That would probably be easier. So I'm hoping that at least within the 5 years, I have already started an academy. And the big thing with that academy is really the youth development, allowing access to the sport in some kind of way where it's not a massive pay to play. There's a lot of that. There's nothing wrong with pay to play. However, there are a lot of kids in the system that get left out that don't get the same kind of time and attention because they don't have the dollars. And I know that, it's an organization and people will need to make money. And so I'm going to try to do my best to find funding to push that. And so outside of that, not only will we have an academy, the idea will be to have women's teams as well. So really that soccer for everybody, that anybody can come play, be a part of the club, be a part of the family, and let's build something together. Now, if we're like looking further out, that's where the dreams, feel a little lofty. It's kind of being that low level community team that people kind of go, on a Saturday evening or Sunday evening to go watch play. It kind of how like a town could get around a school for Friday night football. We would like to be something similar of that nature. So then that would mean eventually I would love to be able to buy a plot of land where we kind of have some small facilities, nothing like extravagant, but just something to be able to really help not only the youth, but people that are trying to climb up the ladder of the game, however high they may want to go, that we can help them to the best of their abilities. So small facilities, at least things that kind of have basic soccer things, and even a mini stadium. I know probably the best way to equate this, if people ever get a chance and they want to look at like, lower league teams in England, for example, in the 6th and 7th division, where they've got stadiums, but they're like low maintenance types,
Yeah.
you know, like a giant shed with a covering and some decent okay seating types where it's low maintenance, but it kind of helps provide an atmosphere. And I think that'd be fantastic. And now we just kind of plan ourselves in the south side of Kansas City as the team to be a part of. And everybody knows who we are, and everybody kind of gets to know the team and you know, feel like they're a part of that family.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I know from talking with you the last couple of weeks leading up to this, just hearing your vision, I think it's fantastic. You know, sports, a lot of us fall in love with our sport in our youth days. When we're young, we start learning the sport, we're enjoying it, we're playing it for fun. Then the competition starts to come and we want to really pursue it. Majority of kids, I think, still have that dream of being a professional athlete. And I think it's awesome that you guys want to try and provide that atmosphere, maybe for those that either are less fortunate or just don't have quite enough opportunities around them to get involved. And I'm sure as you guys keep doing this and grow and get some support from not just the community, but other businesses that might sponsor and do things like that, that it'll truly grow. So I kind of want to just end it here with the, how can people support you? How can the community get involved? You know, what are the ways they can have an impact on what you guys are doing and find a way to be a part of this process moving forward?
Yeah, so they can find us on social media. Right now we're mainly on 2 platforms, just kind of making sure we kind of take care of each of the platforms before we add. So Southside FC KC, so you know, Southside Football Club Kansas City. So Southside FC KC is where they can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're looking at possibly trying to get in that YouTube channel, and we've been working on ideas for streaming games, and we're hoping that's a sooner rather than later thing there. There are other ways that can be helped as well. Right now we are trying to also get embedded with and build relationships with colleges nearby and give internships to kind of help give people experience. Right now we do have one intern that's been helping us from Haley. Haley's been helping us with our social media and whatnot. So different things like that, especially once we start also broadcasting games, you know, opportunity for kind of like some journalism type things, some game day management, so event management and planning. And so there are opportunities there. And so they can also look at the website for kind of what we have available, which is at www.southsidefckc.com, or they can reach out to me directly, Goddard at southsidefckc.com. So shoot me an email. We're also, if you want to be a part of this and you're interested in funding, or we have spots in the coaching staff to help, you know, Gabe kind of manage things, manage players, so on and so forth. If you want to be a player or hear about our tryouts, check us out.
That's awesome. I know, again, soccer or football around the world, one of the world's largest supported sports, especially outside the U.S. But a lot of fun things happen here. You know, Sporting KC, not off to the best season start so far. Kansas City Current, however, they're off to an incredible start for them. You know, new stadium, a lot of fan support. It's been a lot of excitement there. Kansas City's very quickly be rising the ranks as far as cities in the U.S. that have some of the most heavily supported soccer fan base. And of course, World Cup's not too far off, just a couple years. Kansas City being one of the host cities is going to be super exciting. So soccer is definitely growing. It's great to see what you guys are doing and see that community pick up here in Kansas City. It's not just Chiefs. It's not just Royals. There's a lot of great things going around the city. So it was a pleasure having you guys on. I'm glad we're able to sit down, just kind of talk about what you guys do and give you a platform to do that. And I'm sure we'll do some more of this moving forward. But anything else you guys want to leave us with?
I do have to say this. I'm going to shout out Matt. He is our chief of content creator. If you see whatever you see on our Instagram, stuff like that, he is the mastermind behind all the graphics. And then with a mixture of me, but more for Matt. Less of me, but if whatever you see in there, it's most of Matt. He is great on that. So I just shout him out on there. So that's part of it. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, that is the benefit you'll see compared to what a lot of local clubs are. It's you see quality of work of just what we post. It's either, you know, really cool edits of our players playing, or For example, wallpapers, things like that you don't get to see. So I think that is the benefit of following us, a local team in KC. It's always cool to see, a small team grow, and you can be that one person saying, hey, I was there when they only had several hundred followers, and now they're at several thousand and they're that big. But I want to give a shout out to Matt.
Goddard, you got anything else for us?
We hope to see everybody that has an opportunity to come out. There are all kinds of teams. There's not just us in the select league. So we've got teams in the North Kansas City area, in Shawnee, Overland Park, Lee Summit. So go to the selectleague.com and find a team, and hopefully we'll see you out there, either as a fan, a player, or some kind of club staff that's helping the local clubs. So we hope to see you guys.
Yeah. Again, guys, appreciate you joining us. For those of you watching, listening, thank you for joining us. If you have made it all the way through this episode and you'd like to see some more soccer content on our channel, leave a comment below and we'll start diving into some more stuff that you guys want to get into. But again, Goddard, Gabe, thank you guys for coming on. They are, again, with Southside FC KC. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook, or also go check out their website and support them. Middle of their season, it sounds like you guys are an entertaining team to watch with all the goal scoring. And I know for me, as a non-big soccer fan, that's what I would like to see, is all the scoring. So I'm sure it'll be quite entertaining coming out and watching you guys. But again, guys, appreciate you joining us, and I'm sure we will do some more of this here soon. And again, to those of you watching, again, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. On our way to 1,000 subscribers. You can also check us out over on Spotify on the go. Leave us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. And of course, you can follow us on any of our social media channels at KCSA Pod. But that'll do it for this one. We will catch you guys in the next episode.
Thanks.